Dexter might be hitting up the drugs for real because Rita's estranged, annoying mother is coming to stay. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment. It's time to review the 16th episode of Dexter. This is Season 2, Episode 4, called See Through. We are introduced to Rita's mother, and I wonder if she can see through Dexter. Dexter is portraying himself as the great boyfriend, but what will Rita's mother think of him? We'll talk more about that when we get there, but she doesn't get introduced straight away. But first of all, we have Rita cleaning the house obsessively because she knows that her mother is coming in it. She's panicking, I guess. Maybe a little bit of fear in there as well. It's like, why is she so adamant that the house needs to be perfect for her mother's arrival? Is her mother the queen of fucking Miami or something?
This ain't a Rita thing. This is more of a real life problem thing. Everyone does this.
Dexter's too busy reading the newspaper about the Bay Harbour butcher to really care about a clean house, although we know Dexter likes a clean apartment himself, and it hasn't really been that clean lately with Deb staying there. Cody comes out, he's complaining about the heat. He tells Dexter that he dreamed about the Bay Harbour butcher and he had a nightmare, but Dexter says, don't worry, he only goes after bad people and you're not a bad guy. Rita then tells Dexter that she hopes the Bay Harbour butcher is captured and hurt, and she wants the people that capture him to do bad things to him. And this kind of, I guess, disturbs Dexter because he's thinking, damn, she wants bad things to happen to me. And it's not like Rita, because Rita's normally this like innocent soul that doesn't really want anything bad to happen to anybody. But
it's okay if my husband rapes me.
But even she is repulsed by the actions of the Bay Harbour butcher, and I think it's just got Dexter thinking, damn, no one would agree with me at all.
Yeah, and it's like, I'll never be able to come clean to Rita. That plan B's completely out the window.
Dexter gets to his office and he just imagines that everyone is talking about him. He looks and he just thinks that everyone's looking. He thinks that everyone's talking. He thinks that everyone is closing in on him, but he's a little bit relieved because despite the bodies being identified in the field morgue and the fact that they realise that 13 have known criminal records, the police don't exactly know what this pattern means yet, so Dexter still thinks that he is off the hook. We have Pascal showing up late for work again. Captain Thomas Matthews notices this, and honestly, I think she's hanging on to her job by a thread at this point.
What's less than a thread? Pascal. I'd go with Pascal, man.
The captain thinks that the public need reassurance. He wants to tell the public that they don't need to worry, that the Bay Harbour butcher only kills bad people, but Special Agent Frank Lundy disagrees. He thinks that's the only thing that they have at the moment and they shouldn't be giving it up to the public, but he remains silent. Who do you think's in the right here? Or do you think they're both coming? You think they're both?
I think they're both kind of right, but what's revealing that the guy's only going after criminals do for like the case and trying to find them?
Well, the Bay Harbour butcher would then know that they've got information on him. They know that he only goes after bad people.
The problem is we know who he is.
That limits him.
I guess if we didn't know who he is, you'd be more towards...
Yeah, but they don't know who he is, so it's like, based on what they know, you can kind of see why Lundy wants to keep that secret to themselves.
True, but... Here,
Lundy doesn't like... Basically, Lundy doesn't like to show his hands, whereas Thomas Matthews is like, here, we've got a pair of bullets.
Aye, but Dexter's the one...
Lundy doesn't like to go all in.
Dexter's the dealer, though.
Ah, well, true. So, Dexter's the dealer. So.
And fucking Pascal's got the Joker card.
She is a Joker. Excited, Vince Masuka thinks he's developed a lead in the Bay Harbour butcher case, and Dexter now is concerned. He watches as Masuka high-fives Angel Batista, and he's wondering what Masuka has found, and Dexter begins to think there's no way that Masuka can be the guy that brings him crashing down.
That baldy Asian guy. Just go ask him, Dexter.
So Dexter's panicking. What's he going to do? He goes to meet up with his sponsor, Lila. So he goes to her apartment, and it's like it's decorated with all sorts of art. You can see this Lila person's completely out here. Not really a normal kind of chick. She's got all this like weird fucking, I don't know, looked like kind of like
Saw-esque. It reminded me of Saw, some of the artwork going on here.
It was like bodies. It was like plastic kind of bodies.
Yeah, mannequins, that sort of shit.
Mannequins, and they were eating each other.
You know what, I'm actually surprised.
A bit of cannibalism going in. It was strange.
It was strange. I'm actually surprised, though, that after her actions here, running into like a street ornament and stealing it. I'm surprised Dexter just didn't get out the car and walk.
Yeah, so she says we're going to go and get some art supplies. Do you want to come with me? Dexter agrees. She then goes and like runs down like several things and then goes to people's houses and steals all their shit. And Dexter's like, you do know I'm a cop? And she tells, yeah, that's okay, just flash your badge then. So, I mean...
This is like the most out of character thing Dexter's done. He's not necessarily did it, but I'm surprised he's like alright with it. He's condoning it.
Yeah, so...
Like, is he willing to like let this AA sponsor thing just work, even if she's like this?
Yeah, Dexter tells Lila he's a bad person, but Lila says there is no such thing as a bad person. We're all good and we're all bad.
That's a load of shite. That is lefty mentality right there for this.
I'd say even good people do bad things though.
Aye, but there's a difference between telling a white lie and killing fucking people and touching kids and that sort of stuff.
Anyway, Dexter then...
No, but then she's a thief.
True, she's not denying she's a bad person, is she?
Yeah, but I'm not saying she should be put on the chopping block, but Dexter should be distancing himself.
Yeah, but that's her point. We're all good and we're all bad.
Nah, that's a lot of pish.
How is it?
Yeah, we are, but not different levels.
I think Doak's a good guy, but I mean, I'm sure he's got his bad tendencies.
Well,
look at Maria. People would say, oh, Maria's good, but I mean, we find out in this episode that she's a bit of a fucking cunt. So, I mean... I don't know, based on what... I'm not saying I agree with Lila, but I can kind of see the point she's trying to make.
Yeah, well, she's not wrong, right? But let's be real. Her stealing stuff could get her shot, and Dexter could be, figuring out her blood splatters one day, and then he's going to be looking over it like...
But what's your point? She's saying that we're all good and we're all bad.
Yeah, but that doesn't warrant... But she's justifying that with her stealing.
No,
she kind of is, in a way.
Yeah, but she's... I don't think so. No, she's admitting she's a bad person. She's admitting she's got bad sides too. She's got bad parts.
Something about it.
She doesn't want to. She said we're all good and bad.
I don't really like this character, to be honest. I think she's a bit of a cunt. But anyway, Dexter sees something in her.
Is that really the word you're going to use?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
She's a thief and likes doing it. I'm not going to fucking sit here and condone it like Dexter does.
Right.
So he gets that wee sponsor, the wee fucking signature. End of each end of the meeting. But anyway, let's go. Move on.
Move on?
Well, we've wrapped her up. She stole every street ornament in Miami.
Dexter has a flashback where his mother was saying to Harry, John Cena, there's something off about Dexter. Harry begrudgingly
He's
agrees.
invisible. We can't see him.
And they take Dexter to a young psychiatrist. Basically, Harry says to Dexter, look, whatever the psychiatrist tells you, think of your first answer and then say the opposite. So Dexter does that. Psychiatrist says, do you think about hurting people? Dexter wants to say yes, so he says no. He asks, have you ever killed an animal? Dexter obviously has, but he says no.
But he said never. Instead of like...
Yeah, because he's trying to do the complete opposite.
Yeah, but see when you say no, never. Never's like, I have, but never would.
Yeah, but the point is, he's doing what Harry drilled into him.
True, but I tell you what if this guy asks him like, are you straight? And Dexter has to say, no, I'm gay.
Well, that's a bit awkward, isn't it?
Cards are on the table.
But that doesn't happen, and then after this, we have Harry saying to Dexter, oh, you did really well in there. He didn't even see the monster inside of you. Then Harry...
The way he said it was like...
He kind of takes it back a little bit. He says, oh, I didn't mean that. I just mean like the bad tendencies kind of deal. And it's like, right, okay.
No way you're an evil fuck.
You just called... you literally just called your son a monster. We later at a crime scene, LaGuerta is identifying a victim. Dexter is too busy worrying about the Bay Harbour butcher. Sergeant James Stokes comes in.
What's he found, eh?
Yeah, Dokes comes in. He recognises the style of the shooting as Mozambique. And he says that he thinks the killer was a special ops agent, and he says he's going to take the lead in this case. So he's just kind of put LaGuerta on the back seat here because he's special ops. The killer was a special ops. We're going to have a special ops sit down. Deborah Morgan, Angel, and Lundy are examining the bodies in the field morgue. Lundy points out that some of the victims had no criminal record. Angel takes the case of Oscar Sota to investigate further. Deb suggests that the killer may have cut them up for fun. Really? I would say... I just think Dexter does it because it's easier to dispose of.
Yes.
I don't think he does it for fun.
And Lundy marked out at this like, yes, That could be it for fun.
I mean, I think if Dexter had an easier way of killing these people, he would just do it.
No, but I've noticed throughout this show, I think Deborah comes out with stuff that may be right, but says it in like such a says it in a way that she didn't intend it, but actually comes out correct. I think it's happened pretty much since the first episode, where she'll say the right thing, but she wasn't exactly thinking that.
Yeah. Dokes says he has a lead on the Mozambique shooting, and a special ops buddy of his has arranged for him to meet someone. Who's this someone going to be? We don't know, but apparently it could tie in with the latest killer that they're investigating. Esme then tells Dexter that he needs to run forensics on her fiance's shirt after she smells the smell of another woman. And like Dexter says, like, I can't do this. That's Masuka's expertise.
I need
and it's like,
him.
Seriously, I mean, this is what she's doing. Like, you think of all the shit going on right now, and she is wanting her like lead forensic people to run tests on a fucking shirt because of her smell.
Yeah, and you know what, right?
She just shouldn't be being. This shouldn't. Should this even be allowed?
See when Big Captain says this put women back 20, he's fucking right. No man in any form of power would get on like this. This is definitely like solely woman behaviour here.
Yeah, but Dexter
like, I'm not saying weak men would do this, but not men that are in top roles.
Yeah, Dexter also thinks that it's pretty good though, because hopefully this will burden Masuka that he has to run about and trying to identify a smell of the shirt. We then later that evening, Rita's mother Gail visits, and Rita's making a salad. Dexter privately considers Gail as an alien and makes small talk. He notices that Cody's not eating. He says what's wrong. Cody says he was bad today. Now he thinks the Bay Harbour Butcher's going to come and get him.
Yes.
But again, Dexter says that, don't worry, the Butcher doesn't kill kids. But then Gail says that the Bay Harbour Butcher's got her seal of approval, and that she thinks that he should be given a medal and should be allowed to continue to do what he's doing. And Dexter's kind of thinking, maybe this mother-in-law ain't so bad after all.
Maybe she's not an alien. Maybe she is from this planet.
Yeah.
Planet Dexter.
At the station, Deb has figured out that one of the victims without a criminal record was suspected of being a murderer. Lundy then leaves for a date, and he suggests that Debs starts dating again too. So he tells Debs to go out and get a life, and maybe they're beginning to put together that maybe not all these victims have criminal records, but perhaps the rest that don't have the records are still criminals.
Yeah.
Is that a possibility?
That's exactly what they're going for.
At Rita's house, Dexter's worrying. He says that he thinks he might have to find a new sponsor because basically his sponsor is crazy. Rita suggests that Dexter tried to find someone older and more manly like him.
Could you make that any more obvious?
And it's just more paranoia here.
It's almost like here, you need to find an older man because if on the off chance you were gay, you wouldn't want to go for the older man. It's almost like, right, you have to go for the sponsor that you just couldn't do anything with.
Well, first of all, I think it's like Lila's like younger, so she's like, right, get away from her. And then she just threw manly in as well to basically say, get a man. I'm not telling you to get a man, but get someone manly.
Get a transgender, Dexter.
I don't know if Dexter work with one of them.
No.
Deb then works out at the gym, and she meets the gym guy. I don't know if this guy's like the owner of the gym or an employee of the gym.
I think to the gym.
I thought he worked at the gym, but it doesn't really remember. It doesn't really matter even.
Gabrielle.
Deb invites Gabrielle for drinks, but turns out they ain't going to have drinks because they just go back to Dexter's apartment.
Dexter's spare room.
Yeah, Dexter's spare room.
That's where the party's
at. And they're having sex, and Deborah just handcuffs him. Gabrielle says, are you kinky? And she's like, no, the last guy I had sex with tried to kill me. So that's why he's been locked to the bed. Dexter arrives home. He hears a noise. He thinks that Deb's working out on the gym machine, the treadmill. He walks in, and Deborah tells him to get the fuck out. Next morning, it's a little bit uncomfortable. Dexter says, oh, it was dark. I didn't see anything. My eyes hadn't adjusted. And Deborah says, yeah, well, just make sure your eyes keep whatever you seen last night in the shadows.
It's funny, like, she was pissed with him here, but it's his house.
And she's in fighting.
It's not like he knew. It's not like he's being a fucking peeping Tom or peeping Dex.
He asked Deb about the new evidence. Deb tells Dexter that Masuka found algae. So, What?
He can link it to the port that it came from.
Yeah, the harbour, and Dexter's worried now. He's thinking, surely not allergy.
I should have been a bigger nerd.
Allergy? How is allergy going to be the thing that brings me down? So
algae, big man.
Algae?
Aye, algae.
Algae. Angel
That's
then,
mad though. Like, you would just not think of that.
Angel talks to one of the victim's wives, the victim that he picked out, Soto. Basically, she says that her husband didn't do anything wrong, but he pushes and claims that he did, and that he might have been a criminal, and she gets angry and just leaves. She's upset. And did Angel cross the line here?
He definitely didn't have any guns in the house.
Did he?
Well, she told me about that. Did he cross the line?
At this point,
probably.
Right. At the marina, Dokes finds himself on a boat with Curtis Barnes. So that's the man that Dokes had been met with. This is the man
I found this like, it was a funny scene, but it was weird. Like, this guy was like almost promised that Dokes was going to give him safe passage.
Yeah, I don't know what happened here. Curtis Barnes thought that Dokes was coming to like almost help him, whereas Dokes is coming to take him down.
Right, so whoever was the middleman between these two
got their wires mixed up.
Yes.
Barnes tells Dokes to stall the investigation so he can sail to Cuba. Barnes admits to killing his wife, and both men draw their guns. Now, Dokes and Barnes eventually do lower their weapons. Barnes tells Dokes that he was not intending on killing his wife, it just kind of happened. Dokes admits that his own marriage failed, but he says that he left his wife because if he didn't, he was afraid he would kill her. Barnes invites Dokes to go to Cuba with him. Dokes refuses. It's like, what the fuck? Barnes says, I'm not going to end up in a police station. I'm not going to jail. I'm not doing it. He raises his weapon. I guess he's going to shoot Dokes here, but Dokes beats him to it and puts two in the chest, and that's Barnes dead. Mozambique.
Considering he killed his wife with 3 shots within a second, I'm surprised he wasn't quicker on the trigger. We Ashley.
I know, but he's up against a fellow special agent, like.
Yeah.
Not some woman that didn't have a clue it was coming, so, you know.
It's weird. So he killed... So why did he kill his wife? Because, like, the PTSD and she was pissing him off?
Possibly, aye. Infuriating him. We don't know. Anyway, back in the office, Deb tells Lundy that she took his advice and she hooked up and she had sex with someone. Lundy's kind of thinking, right, why don't you keep that to yourself? Deb apologises and she wants Lundy to know that she's not some sort of hooker that will just sleep with anybody. Although, from what we've seen so far in Dexter, she kind of does sleep with just about anybody, so...
Killers.
I don't know. What?
Yeah. She sleeps with killers.
One killer.
Aye, alright, yeah, but that's my point.
Well, my point is she slept with a lot of people.
Aye, well, that's alright then.
Right, well...
I was more going through the sort of people that she has slept with. I'm not saying...
That's one person.
I'm not saying Big Gabrielle's a fucking gym killer, like...
Right, well, my point was the amount of people that she slept with and not who she has slept with. Now, Lundy is saying that at his age he's going to give up dating. He says that his date was horrible, and he says that finding love is a real special once-in-a-lifetime thing, and that he's already found his. Therefore, he should just give up on it all and concentrate on his work. What was your thoughts on Lundy with that statement?
It was a nice wee sentimental statement. Probably means he's lost his wife.
So do you agree that Lundy should give it up then?
Well, I mean, it's his personal opinion. I'm not in the place to tell Lundy what he should fucking do. If he feels like there's nothing for him at this stage of his life and he wants to just work, then fair enough. Do you, Lundy.
Dexter then asks Masuka about the algae, but Esme confronts Masuka before he can really tell Dexter anything, and she basically has a breakdown and kind of scolds Masuka.
I was expecting something racist here to come for fucking Pascal to be the final nail in the coffin.
But it's not a good look for her. Maria leads her away, and Masuka is just sitting there with the shirt, and it's like, come on, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I mean, he told her what she wanted, and then she freaked out.
Yeah, it's like, what can Masuka do?
I just don't get it. Lila and Dexter then have lunch poolside. Dexter tells Lila that he needs a different sponsor, that she's not good for him. Why? I don't exactly know.
I need an old man.
But he leaves. I guess he needs someone older and manlier, like Rita said.
I need a coffin dodger.
Captain Matthews talks to Maria about Pascal's meltdown. He says that Pascal is out, Maria's back in. And he says Maria's got a lot of work to do because Pascal has set back women in this department for 20 years. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah,
I think
I would say she set women back by like 100 years. Honestly,
100.
no, yeah, I would. I think with a performance like this, they shouldn't even be getting a fucking folk man.
So it shouldn't be Maria shouldn't be back in. It should be Dokes.
No, I actually don't think Maria should be back in. If you got rid of Maria, then I think you should, and you replaced her, you should own that and bring some. Yeah, I'm not saying Lagerta did a bad job, but if she really did set women back by 20 years, should Lagerta be in the hot seat again?
That's what I'm saying. Should not be Dokes.
I think it should be Dokes.
Now, it actually should be Dokes, because if you remember in season 1, they actually talked about the reason why Maria got that job is because there was a big, massive case that she got the credit for solving, even though it was Dokes' case.
Yeah.
And she was just lucky to be posted at the back door. And that's the door where the killer fled from.
Like I said,
but it was all Dokes' work.
Yeah.
But Dokes says that he can't bitch about it, or else he'll look like a bitch.
I like Dokes. He's very honest. But
so it's almost like Dokes let Maria take all that credit and get that position, get that promotion over him.
Like I said though earlier, I think it just shows you that women are just too emotional. Like I'm not saying every single woman is, but a man in this sort of level of power would not be getting on like this.
Definitely.
Like, look at Lundy, right? He had a shit date. Did he make a deal out of it? No, he wants to fucking find the killer. See if this was Pascal, she'd have been greeting the Deborah here.
Yep. Outside the field more, Dexter is panicking because he knows that the algae specialist is coming in the morning and he's going to examine the algae on the bodies. Angel Batista comes and says he's melting. He says it's so hot, he can't handle it. He could melt on the spot and that he's going to have to jump in his car because I guess his car's got some sort of air conditioning. You could argue it would be hotter in the car, so I'm going to assume that he's got some sort of special car with like top detective.
Right, well, it would be hotter in the car, but once you turn the AC on, it'll be alright.
That's what I said, air conditioning, mate.
That's what I'm saying though, yeah, the car initially will be hotter, but if your AC works, it'll be sorted in no time.
Dexter is thinking, damn, Angel Batista's going to melt, but I wish those bodies would melt away, and then he gets an idea. But suddenly he spots Lila in the parking lot. Annoyed, Dexter confronts her, but Lila tells Dexter that, look, dropping me is not in your best interests. Lila almost makes it seem as if they're in some sort of relationship here, and that Dexter's breaking up with her.
Or that she knows about his killing. It was either one of the two.
Dexter's adamant that she is no longer his sponsor, but she makes fun of Dexter and says, no, I am your sponsor. But Dexter tries to drive her away, and he takes her into the field morgue to freak her out, I guess, and try and, get her to run away and never come near him
again. Did he get caught bringing her in here?
No, I think you're allowed to, as long as...
An outsider?
I think you potentially... No, it's not like a +1, I guess, or something.
Big crime scene like this, I'm not too sure, maybe.
Who knows? But anyway, Dexter takes her inside and he opens one of the body bags, but Lila seems fascinated. So Dexter was kind of hoping that the evilness would
had the opposite
scare her away, but she was wanting to touch the body, and Dexter's surprised, and Lila thinks that this work is incredible. And she tells Dexter the person who did this is just like us, good and evil. Dexter believes that Lila sees him and sees behind his mask. I mean, what's Dexter think here when Lila thinks this is tremendous work?
You're one of me. Maybe he thinks all junkies are the same, all alcoholics, all gamblers. We're all under the same rock.
It's almost like, how can Dexter view in a bad light though? Because he's the one that's done this. It's basically a compliment. She's basically saying, "Oh, Dexter, this is great work you done."
But that's the problem. You can't take credit for it.
So Dexter, I think, maybe is believing this whole good and evil thing, and maybe that's helping Dexter because maybe he believes that people can see the good in his evil. If that makes sense.
Yeah, and here we've seen Lundy say here, well, that murder's only justified when you save an innocent life.
And the mother-in-law. So I mean, this episode,
maybe they're all in it.
Maybe Dexter thinks he's got more followers than he previously thought. Dexter then finds comfort in knowing that Lila accepts him and that they agree to meet again. Then Lila kisses Dexter multiple times, but Dexter doesn't really seem to flinch. He thinks this is normal. I wouldn't really say it's normal.
No, it's not normal.
Wonder if Rita would find this normal.
Would the old man sponsor kiss him? What would he do if the old man did it to him?
Damn. Angel goes to the wife's house that he accused of her husband being a murderer earlier. He apologises. He says he was wrong. She says that he had guns hidden in the walls of their home, and she takes him in to look at the guns. So yeah, it looks like this is another guy that might not have a criminal record, but maybe there was something. Although, I mean, let's be real, it's America. I'm not saying you can't have guns, but if this guy's got guns hidden in the walls, is it fair to say that he could have been into some dodgy shit?
Maybe he just follows the Second Amendment, boy. Could have been. Guns in the wall. And you see the state of these guns.
Yeah. That night, Dexter breaks into the field morgue. He breaks the AC unit and he puts like this big garbage bin beside the AC conditioning.
Garbage men are always clumsy in this country.
Yeah, so he's going to...
Just shafting the honest fucking working man.
Yeah, the 9 to 5, you know what I mean? The labour guy, and he's shafting him. Although, I mean, would there not be cameras here?
Yeah, at the police.
I'm thinking, would every square inch of this department not have cameras?
Especially...
Although I'm assuming Dexter would know if it's got cameras or not.
He would.
So the fact that he was not wearing a hood, he knows it doesn't have cameras, but you'd think it would.
No, you think it would. Especially this area, considering it's a, high-profile case.
Yeah.
That's, like, literally got the front doors open.
But anyway, yeah, he destroys the AC unit. At the gym, Deborah sees Gabriel and she asks him, do you want to go for a real date this time with clothes on and stuff? And they agree to go on a date. We then see Maria in bed watching the news. Someone behind her turns off the news, and it turns out that it is Pascal's fiance, Bentran. He wants to, I guess, have another round with Maria, but she says, no, you need to leave. Bentran at this point realizes...
Indecisive rounds.
Bentran realizes that Maria only wanted him so she could get rid of Pascal and get her job back.
One cold ass bitch.
But then she reiterates back that you're the one that is, sleeping behind your fiance's back. I don't think Maria's trying to point out that this Bentran guy's not a nice, but that doesn't make her a nice person.
Yeah.
Maybe you're both fucking wrong there.
Yeah, I agree with that.
As Chibs would say.
I would agree with Chibs on that one. I just... Yeah. And you know what?
But it's almost like she thought that was a trump card. But you're the one sleeping on your fight. Yeah, well, you're the one that's fucking trying to ruin the career of your superior,
yeah,
just to try and get your job back.
But you know what, right? The more I think about it, I should have seen this coming. This was almost predictable.
So this wasn't a shock for you, no?
No, it was. That's what I'm saying. I think I should have seen this coming. It makes way more sense now. I
thought it was a good wee twist.
No, it was a good twist. That's what I'm saying.
Because you've seen Maria's been very supportive to Pascal.
But now it makes total sense.
Now it makes total sense. Yeah.
But
now it makes sense why she didn't dob her in when Matthews was like, "You want to give all your negative shit," and she's like, "No." So Maria's protected herself, but fucked her over.
Yeah.
Privately.
And it's interesting to see where this is going to go. Is Pascal ever going to find out about this?
Bentran's an idiot. He's like, now we can come out clean. Aye, right. How would that make Maria look?
I know.
If she was the one that...
Would just undo all the hard work.
Yeah, so...
But then again, he could just come out clean anyway and admit to it.
I mean, he could, but I guess there's nothing really to gain for him anymore, so...
He could shaft her, because she just shaft him, end of the relationship. He could do that.
And he could, but if she's not agreeing she's in a relationship with him, then he's no proof. So...
Yeah, but imagine word got out in the department that she was doing that. Captain fucking whatever his name.
Oh, maybe this guy's not a spiteful prick, you know what I mean?
Maybe he's
like
not.
her, maybe. Anyway, next morning, Dexter tells Rita that he misjudged Lila, and he says that she's the best sponsor for him. She doesn't seem convinced, but what can she do? Although I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Rita tells Dexter, I don't want you going to those meetings anymore.
Yeah.
Cody comes in wearing a Butcherman costume that Gail made for him. Dexter and Cody play Butcherman. He says, did you know you could fly? And he spins Cody around. Gail tells Rita that there's something wrong with Dexter and suspects that he's hiding something. So basically Gail thinks that Dexter's too good to be true. At the field morgue, Masuka Lundy and the marine biologists arrive to look at the algae, but it turns out that the morgue has been flooded and the bodies have just melted to goo. And it's weird because the marine biologist was the one that went out the tent about to be sick. Yeah. Whereas Lundy and Masuka, I would have thought the marine, but then again, maybe this guy's... I would have just thought he would have had more... I suppose Masuka is around a lot of dead bodies too, but I thought this marine biologist would have been able to handle the smell of this.
I know, but a marine biologist is more used to algae and seaweed, maybe not dead bodies. Yeah, and Lundy's, he's played the game.
But Dexter tries to confront Masuka. He's like, I know you had a big break going on there with the algae on the bodies, but yeah, don't worry about it. Masuka can't believe it. He's like, how the hell did we allow this to happen? Stupid garbage man. But Masuka then tells Dexter that the samples were on the rocks, not the bodies, and that the real reason he was coming down was to look at the rocks. And Dexter's like, what do you mean rocks? And Masuka tells Dexter, it's all about the rocks, baby.
It's all about the Wayne.
And now Dexter's thinking, oh god damn it, there's rocks. How am I going to get rid of the rocks? And Masuka tells Dexter that the rocks have already been taken back to the lab for processing. And Dexter ponders what his life, what his future holds. Electrocution versus lethal injection. And that's it. That is the end of See-Through. Dexter thinking, ah fuck, they might not be able to examine the bodies, but they've still got the rocks.
They've got the rocks, damn it. The rocks that he's been shooting into his arm, but he's not really been doing that. And when her mum was saying that he's got a secret, she could have just went, he's a junkie. Ex-junkie. That's his big, dirty secret.
Then you think her mother would have been happy with that?
Of course she wouldn't have been, but it's alright. He's
getting help.
He's at AA. He's going to meetings, it's alright. And he's seeing a manly sponsor.
Anyway, another good. I'm going to get a 7. Another good episode.
Yes, I'm going to give it a 7. I think the Dokes thing was a bit retarded, to be honest.
I was hoping for more.
Yeah, like
just turns up on a boat and shits some guy.
Yeah, I just didn't really get it. Like, what was that guy?
Fucking Burns thinks that he's getting taken to Cuba. It's like, what?
The purpose of it was for Dokes to stall the investigation, but realistically, he could have just laid low and got to Cuba.
True.
You even talk. Oh, I just dropped me off the shore. I'll swim the 20 miles to the coast. What? Fuck. What sort of plan was that?
A shit one. Anyway, guys, 7 out of 10. That's it. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe. We'll catch you in the next one. And peace.